of incubation innovation under higher education department. Since morning I have been listening to all the esteemed academicians with regard to the national education policy and why it is not happening, autonomy issues, flexibility issues, and a lot of things have been debated. So there's a lot of brainstorming sessions have been happening. This is a really good that we brainstorm on these issues. As a bureaucrat, my view would be a little different. I am being a part of the policy making. I have a different opinion about this. I have also worked in the higher education department, being a special secretary. You know, education, as John Dewey says, that education is not preparation for life. Education is life in itself. When we talk about new education policy and its implementers, you cannot say that you can handle NEP independently. It has to be dovetailed with other programs and schemes which are going on by the different departments. For example, the skill development department, we have a skilling mission. So how many universities they have this skill development program in their curriculum? I will tell you that in Odisha we have a World Skill Center, one of its kind actually, in the entire country, where in the 56 skills verticals we train people. Students, they go and train them, and we have an exchange program with the Singapore National University. Then we have missions like the digitization mission. So the NEP has to be dovetailed with that policy and programs. So anything you say that it is independently not happening, that means you are not integrating with other policies and programs of the government. If you have a dream of the Vikasit and Samruddh Bharat in 2047, then in our roadmap, the milestones have to be a convergent milestones where all other schemes and policies of the government can be merged. So independently, if you say that this particular policy is not working, I am making a departure to that statement. Second thing is that we must see that what are the evolving issues coming up in the education sector. What was happening in 2020 or 22 or 23 is not happening in 25. So the evolving issues in education, the new trends which are coming up, we have to understand that. For example, the technology. Technology is changing so fast. Even AI has for the last 3 years, you must have noticed that in the entire gamut of AI, lot of things have come in. So, keeping an organic pace with the changing technology is extremely important for functionality of any education policy. The second thing is that there are a lot of emerging areas like people now concerned about their mental health and well-being. The kind of depressions, suicides among students is growing. So the emerging area is that how we address those points? How many counseling are happening in the university, college or school level? So there is a huge gap on that. So that is also an evolving area of education we need to address too. Then now after COVID, we have understood that hybrid and flexible learning has become a pattern. But that hybrid learning has also be updated. It has to be, it should be in such a fashion that people cannot misuse it. Just because they are not going to physical classes, the students should not misuse the hybrid learning. So that challenge we have to address too. Then another very important is the skill development. As I told you that skill development also is that area is also changing. The skill which was relevant in 2020 is not relevant now. So it's always the demand driven skill that is important. Now, just now the gentleman spoke about maritime. A degree in maritime university is also a new area. It's it has a huge scope. I was working for the Ministry of Commerce and Transport. I know how important to have a maritime engineer, a maritime scientist in that area. A huge gap in that areas. So new areas of learning, new tools of learning. These are our, now we have to include these areas where we can function. And remember one thing, that we cannot ignore the students all the time. Always we say that the students are responsible. One of our esteemed teachers just now said that once everything is student centric, then everything, autonomy, flexibility, everything will fall in its place. But I still differ there. It is a collective responsibility. Every stakeholder has a responsibility. As a policy maker, we have responsibility. As academicians, we have a responsibility. As industry leaders, as civil society leaders, everybody who is connected to the education has a relevance and has a need to contribute. As I told you that India is in a very advantageous position, because our young generation constitutes the 65%. 65% of the Indian population is under the age of 35. The median age is 28. Even China is 38. All other Asian countries, we beat everybody. And when we talk of this Amrit Kal to 2047, in fact, you will find all the young minds, ignited minds, they are there. So this population dividend, which is historic and which India has an advantage, let us capture the unlimited, unstoppable potential of these people. The students, the youngsters, they have the smartness, they have the spark, they can do undo things. So how best we can channelize these people into a positive direction so that they can walk. So for us, the young are important because they will constitute the majority of the population. If you direct them, they will contribute. If you don't guide them, misguided them, they like a misguided missiles, they'll fire. So the entire, this particular summit, if you remember, the theme of the study is that reimagining education powered by India. And what is powering India? The young generation. The young generation is unstoppable. They're unskippable. Let us capture our potential, what we have, and give them flexibility. Give them the autonomy they want, but with a license. It cannot be uncontrolled. The path is very challenging, but we can achieve it. And we all have to learn. Just not students have to learn. The students will learn, we all have to learn. We all have to update ourselves to the modern technology. What is happening in the curriculum, updating. Everything we need to understand what is time and technology driven. आज Mahatma Gandhi says, you live as if you are to die tomorrow, but you learn as if you live forever. We all of us, we need to learn. As a bureaucrat, as an IAS officer, we make policies inside the air-conditioned rooms. But that will not suffice what we need actually. When it goes to the universities or when it goes to the schools and colleges, there needs to be people who implement it. And they have to be not only sensitized, they have to be motivated, they have to be accountable. So all these things in a collective package it comes. It cannot be segmented, you can do that. So this, my entire submission to the House is that India has the advantage of the most important population dividend which no country is having. Our young people, in 2047, the average age would be 28. Look at the advantage we have. And if these people are adequately skilled, adequately sensitized how to contribute for the nation building, they can the real game changers. So and who would guide them? Who will lead them? It is our responsibility also to guide them. So everything has to be done in a manner taking the national education policy as a backdrop and all other policies in the place. Even the IT policy, if you talk about the skill development policy, the skill mission, Swachh Bharat mission, all the missions of the government, different departments needs to be dovetailed. Then only you will get a better result, a perfect result where you can see or visualize your dreams are translated into realities. 2047. I will not take much time, I will just end up that what Roosevelt says that the future belongs to those who see the beauty of their dreams. If you dream, if you're passionate, then you must also understand how to translate, how to go about it. That spark in you, that spark you have to ignite in the young minds. Innovation also has to be done as per the requirement of the time and technology. I'll not talk much. Thank you for giving me time and space to deliver my thought. Once again, thank you to all of you listening to a bureaucrat's experience from my domain expertise and what I do every day and what I have learned and contributed. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Dr. Partha Sarathy Mishra. As a token of gratitude, may I please invite Mohammad Iqbal, Project Head of World Education Summit, to kindly come on stage and present a token of gratitude to Dr. Partha Sarathy Mishra. Can we please have Iqbal on stage? Can we please have a huge round of applause for Dr. Partha Sarathy Mishra, IAS Director cum Additional Secretary, Public Enterprises Department and Advisor in the Center for Incubation and Innovation, Utkal University, Higher Education Department, Government of Odisha. Thank you so much for delivering the keynote address.